Hey guys, today I am going out to Brook Falls. I thought I'd take you along. It is not an easy trail to find at all, so I figured I'd show you a little bit around, maybe that you could find your way if you decide to come out. I'm also going to put some flags up down below because once you get to the bottom of this road, you need to kind of go through the woods a bit, and it's not marked, no trail, and a lot of it looks pretty built up like this with all the brush and greenery. So that I can find my way out and others can find their way down safely, I'm going to go ahead and mark a trail, and otherwise we're going to get on our way and see what we can see. Maybe we'll see some wildlife. I know the birds are all around me, and we'll probably see some neat mushrooms and hopefully some beautiful fall foliage. So join me on my walk today, guys, to Brook Falls. Now it is moose hunting season right now, so I've got bright orange on, even though it is a Sunday, and here in Maine you are not allowed to hunt on Sundays. But I like to be careful, I want to be careful and extra cautious, so I have my orange on today for those of you who are wondering. We had a pretty serious drought earlier this year, but now it is definitely rainy. We've been getting quite a bit of rain most every day, even if, it's just a little drizzle. We've had rain almost every day. So it's been helping a lot with making everything look bright. So after the rain, colors will pop more. So it's a really good time to get down here and film and take some pictures of the fall foliage because it's nice and wet. If it was more dry, you wouldn't see the colors as vividly. So really good time to get out and take some pictures and video is right after a rain. In the wintertime, this is a groomed snowmobile trail, so it's a little bit easier to see the trail then. But right now it's just kind of grown up wild over the spring and summer and fall, and you can definitely not easily find the path. So what I'm going to do is bring you down all the way to the end of this trail and show you where I go into the woods, and I'll start marking the trail so maybe someone else can see. But for the most part, until you get to the bottom, just stay on this trail. You can kind of make out the trail because there's a clearing in between the tree lines. So you got a tree line here and a tree line here, and you can kind of see the clearing. So for the most part, you can make out where the trail should be. I totally wish I had a better zoom on my phone because I'd show you the mountain in the distance. It's absolutely beautiful. Every color you can imagine. So pretty. Right now is definitely peak foliage time. So pretty soon here, even in a couple of days, we're going to be losing a lot of these colors because the leaves are going to be falling off. So I knew I had to get out today. I've got some chores to do later on, but I really wanted to make it a point to get out into these woods and see these colors one last time before they start turning brown. I've got some flowers still hanging on, just about past their time. And blue jays are making a racket. Look at all those colors. So beautiful. So I was just noticing that we have some cow tracks, some moose tracks But right next to the moose track, I noticed a pretty fresh coyote track. I know you can't really see that very well, but it's a pretty good sized track there. So it's pretty dark, only because it's an overcast day. It is about noon, so it's not too late. It gives me enough time to come down here and check things out, get some nice pictures, and head back out before dark. But it definitely looks like it's already dark. I assure you, it is only about noontime. So when you get down into the lower portion, you'll start to see a lot of moss on the ground, and that is kind of a teller that you're really close. You don't have too much far to go. So keep on keeping on, and I will show you a couple of things to ignore. Out here there are some flags, however that's not the ones that I'm putting out, so don't confuse those and follow the wrong trail. They're just down here a bit, so I'll show you those. Alright, so you can see the ground is really nice and mossy, and the woods are really nice and mossy, and then you'll see these pink ribbons with orange paint on the trees, and the trail goes through the woods and all the way down. It goes a few miles, maybe more, and I actually did follow it one day. It goes down to another portion of the river, and where there are some people's camps that they own. So I turned back, obviously, and came back this way. But you do not want to follow those ribbons. You want to stay right down here, and in just a second I'll show you where we're going to turn into the woods. So right here you can see off in the distance there's a snowmobile sign, and it's pointing to go to the left. So we're going to almost go right to that sign, and I'll show you. We're basically going into the woods just after that sign. If you listen real closely, you can hear the waterfall from here. It's not too far. So this, I believe, used to be more of a trail, but it looks like it's pretty well grown in. Trees have fallen over, no one's taken care of it. So you kind of have to detour back here and through the woods. So right at this snowmobile sign, right behind it is where we're going to start the trail. So this is where we came from, and then the snowmobile trail goes right around these birches and in through the woods this way. But what I'm going to do is, this is my ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and start right through these woods. And it's not a clear path, but you just have to kind of go with it and trust yourself, and you will go and find the falls. So my first ribbon is just outside here, and I'm going to go ahead and place another ribbon right here, and we're going to kind of walk down this little non-existent path, and we'll put another ribbon. So there you can see I've got another longer ribbon, and then my next ribbon is going to be right up this way. Alright, so I've got my flags up. The last time I came down here, I followed the noise of the falls, and I went this way through the woods, which was a good way. I was able to get to the falls, no problem. But we're going to go back behind me just a ways. I just wanted to show you these really cool mushrooms. I've been seeing these grow everywhere this year. They've had a pretty good season. So I thought I would just kind of, I think they're pretty cool. Check those babies out. Alright, so like I said last time, I went this way and basically went upstream of the brook. But this time I'm going to go show you a neat little campsite that's out here. I believe it was put together by the Boy Scouts. So there is actually a trail, an old trail that you can pretty much follow. So we're going to go that way. You can see my pink marker tape right here. So I know to get through to the woods I've got to go this way. But we're just going to follow this trail because I know it's a good trail. I don't need to mark it. I'm going to follow it down this way, and I'll show you the bottom of the falls, and we can kind of walk around and see some cool stuff. So parts of the trail is like this, so you really kind of have to look to see where it goes. But if you've walked through the woods enough times, you know how to do that. You kind of can gauge where things are. Like you can see right here, this old log. Animals and people over the years have been beating that down to basically compost. So you can tell, you can see things like that you know that's part of the trail. And then if you take a couple more steps here, you can see this log right here is also kind of broken away. So you know, okay, I'm on the right trail. I can show you a little bit of the brook here. Really pretty. The cedars are starting to turn brown, but they still look beautiful. Alright, so we're just going to continue. Basically it follows alongside the river, or the brook, if you will. And you can see kind of right here, you're like, where do I go? Just use your intuition, you'll find your way. There is a orange marker right here from someone else in years past. You can see some old iron in the ground here. On the opposite side of where we are is, I believe it's the St. John River. Don't quote me, I'm not sure. But there's another big river, and that one has some old, I believe, railroad remnants. I'm not exactly sure what the metal pieces are, but if I have time, we can go check that out a little bit later. I don't want to be out too late because it takes a good half an hour to get back up the trail and to where my car is, so I want to make sure I have plenty of time before it gets dark. This is one of my favorite wild plants. It's called rattlesnake plantain. You can kind of see that variegated lines on there. Those are really cool. And they're pretty rare to see. Only in certain types of woodland will you see them. Ooh, and I just saw a really cool fungus. Now, I cannot believe that I forgot the name of these, but I will put it down in the description box when I've got to look them back up. But they look alien-like, don't they? There's all different colors of these. I've seen yellow, I've seen even black, and these ones are kind of like a pale color. And then you see they're just growing all up this side of the bank in here. Those are pretty cool. So once you start to get into where you're seeing all these pine needles, you'll know you're really close to where the campsite is. And we're also really close to the bottom of the falls. Now the last time I was here, it hadn't rained, so I can't wait to see what it looks like after a rain. We were in a pretty well drought by the last time I was here, so I'm sure it looks a lot nicer now. We'll go check that out in just a little bit. Let me show you this campsite here, and then we'll walk down to the very bottom and come back up and I'll show you this as well. So you can see there's some old remnants here. There's an old lantern. And you can see that it was an Eagle Scout project. Now this piece right here is more of what you'd see out in the backwoods like I was telling you about. So I'm not really sure if that's part of a rail bed or if it's part of an old bridge or something like that. But there's definitely a lot more. If you walk through the woods straight across almost, you're going to hit that other river. This is pretty cool. It says Feener Productions, the Maine Woods to St. Bend Brook to St. John, May 2021. I'm not sure if I read that right. It's really hard to read. Forest Ranger courtesy card. Property found. Okay. That's neat. Neat. So you get a little fire pit here, and then let's go down below. So this is one of the yellow ones of that same kind of mushroom. And then there's some more rattlesnake plantain all around here, which is cool. There you have it, guys. Brook Falls in the fall. LOL. Beautiful. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Get out in the woods and enjoy this beautiful scenery.